Hi, Ashley. Just checking in on your rotations and how they're going. I really enjoyed reading your logs and reading about all the experiences you had at Broman and your food service rotation in the hospital. So I just finished up my food service rotation at Unity Point for the hospital. And it sounds like we had a lot of similar experiences up on patient floors and with the tray lines and different things like that. So I really enjoyed reading about your experiences. And one thing that stuck out to me was the big survey that you conducted with some of the employees in the hospital at Broman. You were talking about how you were surveying them to see whether or not they thought there was enough healthy options there and just their overall satisfaction with the items provided, and how they thought there were enough healthy items, but you kind of disagreed. And even when you do offer healthy items, maybe they don't go over as well. And we kind of encountered something similar at Unity Point. Was that if at one point they introduced kind of like this healthy alternative to whatever they were making that day. So they had like a healthy bowl version of the food, and it just wasn't selling. People weren't interested. And so they eventually took it off. And that's what they noticed, is that the more fried foods, cheeseburgers, pizza, chips, cookies, things like that, sell way more than any of the healthy food items did. So they even at Unity Point started strategizing to put their cookies in a cookie jar and set them right by the register. So when people walk by, they'll grab a cookie. So they're kind of marketing the unhealthy foods to the customers as well. But I just thought that survey was interesting because Unity Point was kind of experiencing the same thing. It seemed like in your logs you had a lot of really cool opportunities with menu planning and designing flyers and marketing and things like that. And that sounds like a lot of fun, and definitely something that I wished I had gotten more experience with at Unity Point. I feel like you had a really good amount of time in the cafe, so kind of seeing more of the retail side of that, and just how to market certain items to their customers and things. So I thought that was really interesting, and I wish that I would have gotten more of that experience in the cafe at Unity Point. Another thing that it seemed that we had in common was just the time that we spent in the kitchen with tray line or checking trays or helping out the people there. It sounded like you got some really good experience with, I think you said his name was Pete on there, so it sounded like he was a really fun guy and a really good teacher, because when I was reading through your logs, it said that he would teach you like a couple of days, and then the last few days he would let you do it on your own, which I think is amazing and a really cool experience, because then it's like you know that you're confident in what you learn to the point where you can be doing it by yourself. So I think that's really awesome and really shows like how much you're learning throughout this experience. And one thing with Unity Point is that I feel like I was just doing something so different every single day that I could never really get good at one thing and be able to completely do it on my own, because I was kind of just bouncing around from different things all over the kitchen and things like that. So I think it's really cool that you were able to get really good at one position in the kitchen and be able to just know what you were doing and jump in and do it. So that was awesome. And then one last thing I thought was really cool was your experience at the asthma camp, teaching the Boys and Girls Club participants. It sounded like you had a fun time with them. I know you said it was kind of challenging because you got a really short amount of time and it was hard to keep their attention, but I feel like that's a really good experience, because in real life, I mean, if we go and speak somewhere, we might only get 10 or 15 minutes. So it was probably a good experience just to be able to say what you need to say in a short amount of time and have everyone enjoy it, especially with the kids. So I know you're at your long-term care rotation right now. I just finished that one in June, so I know that you're having a good experience there, and I hope that you're loving it.